very not free Meepo game, apparently.
I thought it was pretty free.
Yeah, it's absolutely free. This is a dream last pick Meepo. There is very little AoE control, very little AoE scaling damage. You have a bunch of single target cores. The Kunkka cleaves the one thing you got going for you here. It's not a carry Kunkka, it's an off-lane Kunkka. So in theory, you're playing this Kunkka for utility and teamfight support. I agree with the one aspect, like you have a lot of single target DPS to try and burst him down if you can isolate him with lassos in the late game. Between the bloodlusted cores, outputting a lot of single target DPS, and you can drag a Meepo out of position. That part can be kind of good. But outside of that, I mean, they picked it here for a reason, right?
I mean, aren't you also matched up into an Oracle? You have a whole bunch of single target. You're trying to burst down that one Meepo. What happens if that one Meepo gets Fate's Edict or False Promise?
That is a big factor here. I like the work. I feel like we should have seen this here more than we have. He was really popular for a little bit. People kind of forget about him, but I think in a lot of these games, he can provide a lot. He's still fine on lane. He gives you a lot in the team fight, scales really well. And we've seen a lot of Bat Riders be contested early, either banned or picked. He's one of the greatest Bat Rider answers in the history of the game. It really forces you to pick either certain backline jumping carries or offlaners that have used summons, like the Lycan, for example.
Sure.
And we're just not seeing some of these heroes. So I feel like he has more viability than people give him credit for. And especially in a game like this, where you saw, in theory, the offlaner early with the Kunkka and the two supports, he kind of eliminated a lot of those big threats. The only options for extreme gaming were big backline jumping carries such as Spectre or, I guess, an illusion carry like a Fan Lancer that was still in the pool, but they opted for picking the sniper first, and then a lot of those carries got banned.
Actually, the more I look at it, I feel like Extreme got dumpstered in the draft. My goodness, like not just the Meepo, but yeah, they have a whole bunch of single target. But it's not just the Oracle with the save. They also have the Ringmaster with the saves. You even have an Undying Soul Rip save that can come out. So I'm actually really struggling to see how they're going to be able to focus one target down when they go for that axe or the lasso or what have you. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Plenty of team fight on the side of PARIVISION as well, thanks to the Ringmaster and Undying offlane. One good thing is going to be this XM matchup early on against the Storm Spirit. Maybe he can get an advantage here. Having the range advantage right now is not getting the CS advantage, though.
So far, lanes are going Extreme's way. A little bit across the board, all their cores are CSing well. That's another way they can stall out this Meepo strength. Just win the lanes, come out ahead, put this Morphlane and Sniper in a position where they dominate the map early, and you just don't get that chance to farm. We've seen their Sniper go pretty camp. You gotta remember, this is an XM Sniper. This is a hero that is sometimes just first phase banned straight up against this team. Cannot let them get their hands on it, and it's for good reason. He is the master Sniper player here.
Went back to the Ogre as well, a hero that you and I casted, which did not have very much success
in the offlane.
Yeah.
Here it's a little different. You have really good bloodlust targets. You have a decent point of attack against killing the Tombstone, getting some extra burst damage against the Storm with your limited stuns. I kind of like Ogre versus Storm because in general your tanky support you can burst, you buy nice utility, and then
really good lockdown here from TV. Looks like they should take down Jinkyu easily.
Oh, yeah.
Combination of give me extra Meepo, then a Fortune Zen hits him, then a Flood Grenade on 2.
Stella's not even a close trade. They have full resources on pretty much both the Meepos there. It's just a pretty standard point of attack, and now you're going to get the Oracle to level 3, which is a really nice timing on the lane.
As a result, Tukalis might even be able to get a pull in here. No, Jinkyu's going to interrupt it. Flame break him away. Well, we're probably going to need to see some sort of rotations out of Extreme. That's also something that I'm kind of lacking to see here. What are they going to do? No one getting low here. The final shrapnel is going to come out, hit him with the Ignite. Not going to be enough damage. Decent amount of pressure, but unfortunately not the kill that Extreme is looking for, whether it's in the mid lane or against that Meepo. Extreme do kind of need to get something going in the laning phase here, but they don't have the best rotating heroes in the world.
Your strongest spell is 3 points and shrapnel.
Yeah.
You gotta play through this Sniper. Either skirmish around mid or rotate him to a fight that breaks out somewhere else. I say that it's not gonna be the Sniper making the move first. It's gotta be a fight breaking out, and then you counter play that fight as a Sniper, particularly on this Meepo lane. the Meepo runs someone down on this lane, you can easily turn that fight with a sniper coming in. That could be something that Extreme Gaming look for, but to me it has to be through XM here in the early game. It's not going to be the Morph lane. It be the XXS Kunkka if you can get a fast Dota. That's kind of his only early damage. Like, you just don't kill this Meepo on the lane, especially with an Oracle sitting behind. And that's another tough point in this game for XG. The Oracle is really good against the Kunkka's damage in this game.
Yeah.
So XXS is not going to give you a lot of that early game team fight boost. You need other cores to get involved early with the physical DPS.
Here comes Satanic. Making his first move as the Meepo coming through the gate with one of his Meepos. Through the gate, they go after Ame. Tombstone is going to be dropped out underneath this tower. Whip goes out, but the Tombstone's dead. They still got the kill on Ame. Jinkyu's going to try and run down Night Class here. Got him with the whoopee cushion there, but in the end, it's PARIVISION just outnumbering Extreme, getting a 2-for-1.
That's what the Meepo does. He can make the gate rotation while staying bottom. Just kind of eye out for which opportunity exists there. If it does, you pounce. If it doesn't, you just keep farming. Really nice use of the early mobility, and not a fun lane for XG to skirmish into. Off lane Undying. This hero is terrorizing the meta right now for good reason. So hard to fight into the Tombstone early. Even if you bring it down, you're going to end up losing the fight. And again, in exchange for XG that does not involve the sniper, probably not one you're going to come out on top.
No one. He does manage to push through the laning phase without a death, and now has his level 6, so not expecting him to die. He stands with a sniper solo, and has walked away with really good CS. Despite all the pressure that has been attempted by XM, hasn't actually worked.
Oh, he's chilling here. Did lose in Hobbs on the hill to Jinq, but other than that, just jungling. Not much threat on him in the jungle. Can't get deep wards out. This Batrider, not that easy to hunt the Storm early. Now he's level 6, even more difficult. Oracle's lurking around. A lot of defensive vision around the river. P-Vision right now that XG are not having fun playing into, so they're just going to go back for the stack game. Try and farm up on their own and exchange these wisdom shrines. Like a slow game plan for XG in this game 1. They're just going to farm up, believe in their scale, try and take it to the Meepo in the late game. Sometimes a strat that can work if you go ultra late. The Meepo does eventually fall off in a lot of games. But even then, he can be a decent meat shield this game. The Storm, who's the real carry.
Sure.
They are not all in on Meepo having to solo carry this game. That's kind of the scary part of the lineup. I think it's a pretty good Storm game as well.
We've also seen these Undying scale up pretty nicely too. They don't seem to fall off quite as hard as maybe they used to. Harpoon's a really good, helpful item for this hero.
The hero gets 2 daggers. Is built in Aegis, so yeah, can't scale too poorly if you have built in Aegis. This could be a free tower, or PARIVISION gonna defend this. They're just jungling. No interest in interacting with XM early.
I think that's the right call. I don't think you want to be trying to fight this.
Oh my.
Radiant's
He
middle
almost got
tower has fallen.
With 55 damage, it would have been impressive to get that deny from Takalis, but sadly Oracle's damage is so terrible.
There's no way it should have been that close, though. That would have been incredibly embarrassing. You could get tier 1s for free this game if you're XG. The faster you take them down, the better. I mean, the Meepo's going to jungle, the Storm's going to jungle. Take away the power rooms from the Storm. Sniper doesn't use them too well, but if you can deny him out from no one, be able to limit his rotation ability.
His middle tower is under
Rotate
attack.
Ame into mid while the team makes the move towards bottom.
Radiant's bottom
Pretty
tower
tough hero
is under
to
attack.
pressure mid at all.
Dire
And
are
again, another
scanned.
not a tier 1 P-Vision are going to defend unless you're willing to bring everybody down here, including the Undying, and just not in the cards.
Radiant structures are fortified. Radiant's bottom tower is under
Is it
attack.
bad to give up this many towers early?
Well, it just depends on your lineup, right?
Radiant's bottom
Depends on
tower
if the
has
opponent
fallen.
team can actually use the space as well.
I guess I'm asking, what is the impact of losing your mid and safe lane tower this early into the game?
You're going to lose a lot of jungle control. Enemy has better routes to gank you than better routes to get deep wards out. Power rune control becomes a lot worse. Your aggressive moves, you have to make them from farther on your side of the map on average, which means your smokes are a worse chance to land. All these things compound. Generally, though, the biggest issue is enemies just going to farm more gold because they have more access to your camps. And we're seeing that right here, right? Sniper's getting really aggressive. angles to flank him are a little worse, so more confidence here for XG to command this area. They got the deep ward out. This is now pretty difficult for PVision to push into unless you bring the Undying and make a concentrated play. Trying to get DM involved. It's going to be a smoke to wrap around mid.
Satanic trying to burst him down with a Kunkka combo, but there's the counter. Mikala shows up, one Fate's Edict, and there goes your whole move. Meanwhile, mid lane, Ame's gonna get jumped here. The waypoint didn't have enough damage. No one. He zips away. Now the rebuttal from Extreme. The two supports pushing out, trying to catch Nightclass here. Assassination not gonna be good enough damage. The flame break, that's also not gonna be good enough. Thanks to Nightclass having that strong man's tonic, he heals himself up enough. He survives.
That was really forced.
It was.
You don't really have Sniper in the vicinity to help you. Have to expect the sustain coming out from this line. You have double saving supports on the side of PVision with a lot of extra HP in the tank. That was an arcade. No one's out of mana there. Maybe that dive can work out, but he still had a lot of resources to work with here.
I do feel like there was a pretty clear difference just back to back there, right? PVision, they try and go on Ame. They run a little short on damage. They don't die too heavily, you know, they don't force it. They just kind of like, okay, whatever. We got a reaction. Extreme, though, they feel kind of desperate, and I assume that's part of it is the pressure of playing against a Meepo. They feel like they need to get punishments in. They need to take control of the game here and now. PVision, it feels like time is to their benefit.
Can definitely feel really tough to play these games. You feel like you got in this last drafting. Maybe there were multiple heroes you were worried about. This was only one of them. Tough spot to be in. And it usually results in you being on the clock. And you have to make moves, you have to force kills. Another attempt here, but a dodge with the illusion.
That was a sick move. Nightclass. He hit him with the whip, and then he hit him with the Funhouse Mirror to disjoint the X-Pull back. That was really cool.
Well, the plays were not easy in this game for XG. That's just going to demoralize you even more.
Got the last onto the Storm Suit, half HP, but there's also a Ball Promise alongside the Shield Rune, not even close to going down.
He's just going in.
Gonna need some more help for this Sniper. Tombstone laid out right on top of him, XF half HP. Maybe he's gonna die here. Also doesn't manage to get that much. Ame turning into the Undying. Good decay back here. So pretty nice, but Tombstone's gonna die. The other Tombstone is still not gonna work for Extreme. XXS, he can keep on hitting those Tidebringers all he wants. They just do not do enough damage to threaten the Meepo.
This more just doesn't have enough points in the attribute shift either. He took some stats, so the shift is a little slow. He's just getting bursted on the back end of the Meepo burst damage. Maybe he goes down there regardless. The diffuser RPO for Satanic, he gets to come in with triple Meepo, clean up that fight, no boat to bail you out. That's a huge factor for XG. And again, what starts all this off, just kind of a forced lasso play around that rune on a Storm who's never going to die in that situation. You give up so much positional advantage. This game just looks tough for XG. None of these fights feel easy. It feels really hard to take single targets down. The Morphlene's been shut down multiple times in the early game, and this Meepo is already starting to snowball. A really strong pick with a really good start here on the best carry player in the world, according to himself.
He did call himself that, yeah.
Dire are scanning.
I don't know if I believe it, but I definitely, he is 100% in the top 3, probably top 2.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
I think there's a very clear argument he might be the most valuable carry in the world right now.
I would agree with that.
I think
for
that's
sure.
not even close. Like in terms of age.
I mean, the fact that you can hit that Meepo, your Toro could never.
I'm not going to fall into that trap.
Avery almost took the bait. I saw him get a little flustered there. He got a little red in the cheeks. He wasn't happy about that.
Look, playing Meepo it's a good strength, but it's not the end-all be-all of a good carry player, all right? No. Until this kid shaves his head on the TI stage. I'm not going to push him too much more, but we'll see how the season ends. We'll see how this tournament ends. Right? We're down here for a reason.
That's true. We're not able to get top of their group.
Looking solid in this game, though. This is kind of where you want the Meepo to be. A little bit ahead of everybody. should always be ahead. It's kind of an alchemist type hero. And just cruise to some solid timings. That said, XG, their cores are probably not feeling bad in this game. They're all finding some decent farm. You are getting the early fighting items up. I just worry about how much this net worth on XG's cores is going to translate into a team fight win if you can't find some big lasso targets. Particularly, can you bring this MEEPO down at some point when he has double saving support plus an 9 behind him? There's a lot of HP to get through in these fights. Limited damage sources on XG. It has to come from the Morphling, it has to come from the sniper. Ame, he is in big trouble down here, completely alone. No help in sight.
Wait for him, but now Satanac's gonna show up, and now that thing up, it doesn't matter. He's locked down by the Earthbind.
No chance to get out of here. You get found that deep in the map, you're absolutely done. Nice read from PARIVISION to get the quick carry pick. That's a 3rd death for this Morphling. They are adding up here, and it feels like every time he's died, it's gone to the MEEPO. Satanic.
Blink dagger up, but he got off the flesh golem on DM. And it's gonna make this kill not impossible. It's gonna be too hard for jump in from the shoulders here, gets a grab on XM. The boat's gonna help them be a little bit tankier here, but XM is so low, no one's just gonna get more. It hits on to Pelosin as well. Another time that Extreme try and get aggressive, immediately rebuked by PARIVISION. They walk away with 2 kills.
There's just no way to set these plays up. It's too easy for the PARIVISION supports right now. Not enough burst damage to get these heroes before the saves come out, and the second the saves come out, that fight is not favorable for you because your damage sources are so limited. Issues getting the lanes in versus the MEEPO, who's controlling the map and the jungle. It is a big threat when he's off the map. You're scared to push these lanes deep if you're the Morphling or the sniper. As you saw, you get found on Ame, you just get run down. You can't TP out, you can't run, you just get whittled. Map is really tough to play right now. XG looking for answers. It's gotta be Jin Q. I mean, it's your only source of playmaking. Like, keep finding some lassos on isolated targets. Hope PARIVISION are not there to bail the guy out, or find one of the supports to start a fight.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Bringing no one back towards bottom. Trying to kick people out of this area. Feeling Ame was returning to his usual hunting ground, but he's already bailed out from there. No interest in these heroes without some defensive capability. Manta's coming out soon. I guess that's another route that could go. You can just try and itemize to kite fights out. If you go in, they use saves, they drop Tombstone. If you can completely reset, then you're happy with that exchange, because you don't really have any big cooldowns you have to play around. But that's going to require a lot of defensive itemization here. Mantas, Hurricane Pikes, extra 4-staff Glimmers, Pike from the Kunkka. You have to be able to survive Storm's mana capacity, because the catch is really consistent here. Back of no one. He is hunting. 3-man smoke. MEEPO can show on the waves. If you don't find anything here, you're just going to Roche. MEEPO does it quite quickly. You're straight to the pit. Why not? You have a MEEPO. This is really fast.
It's free. Extreme, I feel like we're teaming hunting parties to go find these solo MEEPOs around the map.
So,
kind of punishment for the fact that these MEEPOs can't push out the lanes, and then the rest of PARIVISION can play the map.
Scan comes out, but it's too late here.
Lands in time to snatch away the Roshan last hit.
Yeah, that would have been nice.
That would have been an interesting situation, but instead it's the PARIVISION side walking away with everything.
And you wasted a smoke for this play. These smokes are super valuable for XG. You need to make sure you land them in this game. Instant map control. Because the lead's not ballooning yet, but it absolutely can off 1 or 2 fights as MEEPO joins. And he's going to have Ags very quickly here. He's already level 15. He just to back it up. He's a monster right now. This is not a hero you want to take on before you have some better scaling items between the sniper and the Morphling. I do like the idea of stealing the Tombstone and dropping it this game if you're Ame.
It seemed okay, but then MEEPO's a really good answer to Undying.
Yeah, that also doesn't help you there. Like, MEEPO just owns Morphling, right?
Yeah.
There's no way around this matchup, really. Best bet is like a BKB timing at some point in the game when you turn it to try and get a second or third Roche. Because people pretty weak against BKB, he's pretty weak against Force Staff. You can kite this hero out, kind of regardless of the matchups, but you need gold to do that. You need a lot more gold here. MEEPO is a timing-based hero. This hero just, he hits his stride and he takes the game over, he just ends it before you get there. They've done for the Kunkka. XG will get their aura for the team fight. They have other plans. They're just going to continue to take objectives. Free Tormentor for them. Why not? Stu gets the shard off this.
Yeah, he gets the Oracle. Doesn't sound too bad.
Yeah, good in this lineup for sure. He'll get it. Yeah, nice little Rain of Destiny. AoE heal.
Extra saves.
Healing here. Just where you get the lockage, boost everything up even more.
Yeah, might as well.
I mean, they're itemizing well for the MEEPO. You're gonna have a lot of auras to put behind this guy. Drum on the 9 class Ringmaster. You already have Pipe into Crimson for the DM Undying. And then you're gonna have that Rain of Destiny plus, you know, all the single target saves to potentially bail the MEEPO out. It's not just that you have to get through this guy. You have to get through this guy with all that behind him.
Yeah.
Which means you better find some lassos in this game, man.
Yeah.
I wish Jin the best, because there's a lot of pressure to find
correct
target every time.
I feel like even if you grab one of the MEEPOs, you pull them out, Satanic just jumps to his MEEPO. As soon as the lasso ends, it's Mega MEEPO time.
Yeah, he's not going to die in the initial goes.
Yeah. So, as you said, you got to be able to play for the reset. That's Extreme Gaming. It did feel like the first 10-15 minutes they were like trying to take over the game, but now it seems like it's Plan B. They're just going to have to let PARIVISION do what they want and hopefully get one really good defensive team fight that can even out the net worth lead that is going to grow for PARIVISION. I mean, you said it was 2K then, it's 4K now, but like the potential, it's ready to explode.
They're just banking on their scale and their high ground defense. In theory, there is a sliver of hope here for XG in the ultra late game. I can kind of see it with the bloodlusted cores and just insane single target DPS. Bo can fall off a little bit in those situations, but and with the backup he has in this game, that's a long, long way to the late game.
I mean, you get lasso, you get Tidebreaker.
Start to this fight for XG. Yeah, they got a lot.
This is pretty much the perfect example of what Extreme needs to have happen, which is kind of a go and a reset. Now the question is, can they force a second team fight? Nah. And it seems like the answer is no.
Not without Lasso Boat. These are your pivotal spells to find something. I don't mind how they played that, though. I mean, of course, that was Satanic just completely forcing the action. Basically 1v5. They did try and fight off more than they can shoot. Again, I think they actually understand the position in this game well, even if it's not a fun one. We saw how fast that storm got taken down there.
Yeah, it was actually a little spooky there.
You're gonna absolutely burst heroes in 1 or 2 seconds as this game goes on before saves come out hit. The positioning's not there. And there aren't mobility items on the Ringmaster or the Oracle yet. The Blink Daggers are not out. If the Blink Daggers come out on the Oracle and the Ringmaster, it becomes way more difficult to do that. But right now you do have a little bit of an opening because they itemize for more sustain, more auras.
Also, the BKB on Storm. There's only one BKB piercing ability. That's Lasso. That is completely answered by False Promise. That makes Ducalis' life like very simple. Did they use Lasso? If so, False Promise. So there are definitely going to be a lot of items that make Extreme Gaming's lives difficult in the coming minutes. But for now, they are weathering the storm. They did pick up that early shard, the tidal wave there from Kunkka. Also thinking about the aghanim scepter, just kind of full team fight build.
Should be Butterfly done for Ame before the next fight. The mini crit for the XM Sniper into BKB. BKBs would be huge for XG here if they can eventually get to them, but they might feel like they just need more damage to optimize their lineup with the Bloodlust capability.
I think Polosin should have gone a hand of Midas.
Okay, well, let's not get anybody reported here, Austin.
I'm just saying, you know this, like you're playing defense and you're playing slow, I almost kind of feel like, oh, good Sentry. That was a good read. Wonder how he knew that.
Just Midas on this hero does not pay off for... Like, it pays off economically, but I feel like okay, you get Midas, you get
Items that
another item,
overhits, yeah.
and you could just have that item. And then, okay, you get the second item comes out faster, but are items on Ogre Magi that impactful? And I always feel like
Maybe the
answer is
levels
no.
are, though. There's a Bloodlust attack speed talent, right?
Yeah, 19. 30. It's not as good a talent anymore. I agree with Paulson here. Just get the Solar Crest, max the Bloodlust. You're a Bloodlust bot this game. That's like,
It's so sad, man. That was Dota 10 years ago. Position 6, Bloodlust bot.
That was when Jowie was playing Dota. He put his 5 straight back there.
You will know what it was like. I had to walk uphill both ways.
Storm Force double damage.
Pretty quiet game kills-wise, though.
Yeah.
You have to give XG credit there. They haven't, at the MEEPO, they haven't just been picked off around the map. As Satanic hits level 20.
It's level 20.
And that is a good talent this game against the Butterfly
Radiant's
Morphin.
bottom tower is under attack.
Disgusting talent, actually.
You almost wonder,
Dire's top
should he have
tower
gone
is under
Butterfly?
attack.
Still like a good stat item and everything. But that is pretty debilitating.
I think the Butterfly's quite good if you get the BKB.
Sure.
Without it, it becomes a little worse.
Well, he's not going BKB.
Yeah, I mean, it's still super high damage output on this hero. It's kind of hard to turn down.
Yeah. That's
But it's pretty bad against this talent. That is for sure. Now, should this talent exist? I don't know, but it's MEEPO, so who knows anything. Skadi done for Satanic as well. He has just boosted the stats through the roof.
That's a classic. Just some power creep. What does MEEPO not have? Oh, he has a hard time with evasion. Well, let's go ahead and give him a talent that gives him True
Radiant
Strike.
are scanning.
An answer for everything in Dota. Extreme are really trying to take this fight up here, huh? I thought they would just kind of let PARIVISION go over Roche. Maybe contest it, but instead they're trying to get a little active with the tidal wave, pulling the Undying out of position, quote unquote. I think DM is perfectly in position, though. Just wanted to be able to hit somebody. Well, they got the flesh golem out of him, so something. Yep, and Roshan is not up yet, so flesh golem is going to be on cooldown when the Roshan does spawn.
What's your angle in this fight, though? Like, what are you even trying to find?
Well, you make another play like that in 30 seconds, you get the false promise out of them. Then you make another play like that in 30 seconds to get the BKB out of the storm. And then you take another team fight, 10 seconds later, that's a good team fight.
Okay, well, none of that's going to happen. So, realistically, you have to bait the storm to jump super deep into you where he can just get bursted down. No one just doesn't see his health bar going.
Out of way, pushing in. Jin-Q does not make the jump there.
For the storm, on top of the BKB, he just got a lot tankier for this next fight.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
The problem in these games is you end up in these standoffs. MEEPO's just farming the map.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
MEEPO. He's clearing through half the map. You're sitting here on Morphling going, we gotta do something because this guy's clearing 3 or 4 camps at once, and I'm committing my entire hero. I just feel bad if nothing's happening. The MEEPO is just slowly gaining a lead. He has his shard as well, so he has Mega MEEPO, he has Dig available, he has the True Strike Earthbinds. A lot to deal with in this next fight. If you're Ame and you have one defensive capability with the Manta, that's it. You have no Arcane Pike, you have no BKB.
This is the point in the game where it is always a bait to go on the MEEPO.
Oh, 100%. I mean, you can soft go on him to try and bait out the Mega MEEPO or get some sort of reaction from PARIVISION, but there's no way to all in this guy this game. You have to recognize that. Satanic, he knows it. That's why he's just going to force the issue. Go on me. What?
Well, they can be annoying. They've got Prince and Strength. They've got plenty of mission inside the pit.
And that's here.
They've got probably shooting from the right. The wave is going to pull back from the same. retreat. Good call to retreat.
Get next or something there and you can hold him in that area. Might have not been a bad fight with the tombstone advantage.
It is really showing that, like, I feel like Extreme is doing everything right, you know, but they still aren't winning. They can't win a big team fight because there's just no way to keep heroes in the area once they get an advantage. That's that Oracle.
At least Rosha's moving here. Might create some chaos for an opening with the bat. And it's just... Yeah, feel for Jin-Q, man. Like in any normal game, he would jump some of these, but he just can't. You can't jump anything.
No.
Until the fight develops more.
Good stuff.
Well, you're nigh impossible to kill. Time to take the action to the enemy. Satanic picks up like that.
Chip him a little bit here.
Gets him out of here. Extreme Gaming, through their buybacks and through their defensive positioning, will finally win a team fight.
Huge win for them. The position there was immaculate. They stalled this out so Roche goes bottom. They take a defensive hold on that high ground by the outpost, take advantage of the buybacks, take advantage of the high ground position that PARIVISION has to charge into, and they get clutch kills that they want. The burst damage going into the storm that completely opens up this fight. That was all set up by a fire blast, by the way. I told you this ogre stun is no joke sometimes when you're going deep in these fights. Just get stunned from the high ground, right? No one doesn't see him.
I torrent it as well, yeah.
That's all it takes. And suddenly this fight's broken wide open because now you can kite it out. Some damage going on the supports. You whittle through the saves. The Kunkka stands tall in the front ground. And MEEPO can't do it all alone. Starting to get kited a little bit in this fight. Didn't get the good connection in the lockdown on the Morphling with the wheel. That is a massive team fight to win in this game. The patience from Extreme Gaming here. They have a skadi on the Morphling. They have an Aegis. He's level 20. Pretty massive power play for Ame.
He tried to find a lasso instead. Only finds dead. PARIVISION. Despite the extra life onto Extreme Gaming, they're more than willing to take some team fights here, especially if Extreme is not set up in a defensive position like they were before.
Oh yeah, they're out in the open. That fight is way more inviting.
MEEPO coming in from the side. Still has that Aegis. By the storms here, he'll be going on and kills. He turns around on the 9 class, gets that one, still not dead yet. Now he falls, loses that Aegis. Beat MEEPO. It's going to take on the targets that are much easier to get grab onto the Kunkka. Works him down.
Once you're earthbound, there's just no way out of that situation. You don't have the defensive items to do it. You're either winning the fight or you're losing it slowly. A beautiful Roshan fight, but actually overextend on the map, not respecting what won them that fight in the first place, which was the positional advantage. Just get run down in the open. There's no real way to burst a single target when your supports go down early like that. Too much HP to work through on this MEEPO.
4 kills to 1. Extreme Gaming did more damage.
I wonder where it all went.
More damage.
Dyer's
But still, only got a single kill out of it. I was gonna say, it felt like off of that Roshan, it was feasible that we were gonna be able to go late game for Extreme, and we would see the MEEPO kind of scale out.
Dyer's bottom tower is under
I think it's just farmed with that Aegis, to be honest.
100%. Extreme got it into their heads like, oh, we want a team fight. We've got this, as you said, the skadi, we got the Aegis on the Morphling, we're strong. You're still facing the same problems you were before the Roshan, though.
Dyer's bottom tower is under attack.
Also, how many times are you going to catch this storm with a fire blast into that. Like, that is the dream scenario, but very rare to get that if you're the ones going into PARIVISION side of the map. Just impossible. Support backline is going to be so well protected. There's the swift blink for Satanic as he pushes towards this level 25 would be another big timing for him. A lot of mobility now for the Meepo, a lot more damage that can come out. It's concerning for Ame. I mean, he had the one good fight around that pit, but otherwise this matchup has been a big problem for him. And without BKB, you're just high and dry. But yeah, I understand him not going for it here because he feels like he needs more stats and more damage to win the fight in the first place. But if he gets caught out, just done. There are little ways to bail him out. There's the Midas for the Ogre. He went back for it.
Nice.
Don't mind this at all now. I mean, you're in it for the long haul.
Radiant are
Outworld
scanning.
Staff for Ducalis is going to make him just a little bit more annoying. Outworld Staff, this is another hero that I feel like is crazy affected by Kunkka. Outworld Staff is just way too good at destroying against all of his abilities.
Not a fun matchup for him. No Juggernaut. He's got to be up there.
Daedalus next for Ame. He just needs as much damage as possible. They get that one disable on one of these heroes. You need to be able to kill that hero within 2 seconds.
Those become harder now that the blinks are online. For PARIVISION, they eventually got there with both supports, so those blink saves, a lot of range to work with on both the box and Promise here. Need really good positioning if you're XG. Try and take these fights around a high ground, around your vision, bait PARIVISION into you. That's the biggest component. You need the Storm to jump into your lineup. You need the Meepo to go in deep against position where your supports can see a lot more and PARIVISIONs can see a lot less. That type of situation can work out for you, as we saw.
Yeah.
It requires a lot of patience, a lot of discipline, and playing those initial portions of the fight really well and not getting baited yourself. Like, PARIVISION are probably going to show you heroes that are really tempting to jump. And you just can't commit to jump. You have to stay disciplined here. Make sure they jump you.
Radiant's middle
For the
tower
Meepo.
is under attack.
Look, I mean, this guy is just massive, dude. He's absolutely massive. If he finds the Morphling at the start of any of these engagements, the fight is just over.
Interesting
Be able to
call.
find him here. Look at the smoke.
They're going to run into the Meepo. They had the scan. That's here on the side. He's got ball one. Other sage getting away. Sage going out. And Satanic is still with the he might just have a chance to be able to do so. He gets caught inside the net. But the decays are adding up. DM combined with no one amping up the damage. They had a buyback on Satanic. Wasn't necessary to win the fight, but ensures it and might just be able to take the entirety of Extreme's base.
Not a fight you're ever going to win. You still had ceaseless Durs there. You had other buybacks. Yeah. The Undying got bailed out with a save on the outpost. That is such a tough thing, particularly when Satanic has 2 lives. They brought it down once. Credit to them. That was a clutch smoke. If they get him finishing off that backbone before the Mega Meepo goes off, he might be able to disengage or take the second half of that, but the second Mega Meepo goes off, it just stalls this place so much.
And it's impossible to stop that. Like, unless you just
there's no way.
The split-second perfect timing on Torrent or Boat or something. He's just, the moment the Meepo gets there, Mega Meepo, it's instant animated.
Maybe full Daedalus on Morphling, you get some lucky crits in with him and the sniper. Yeah, maybe. Unfortunately, he's playing into a lot of lives. You gambled, you lost, and you're going to lose 2 lanes here. They're going to walk down the third.
Before Ame is back up up into play. P-Vision, taking it up. The dagger doesn't land.
I mean, only 2 lanes. That is a lot, but of course, the Meepo buyback in this game. These fights are really difficult. Oh, win condition now.
They do. It's Roshan's going to be coming up soon.
This is your shot to win this game right now. You're going to have to make something happen. Find this Meepo, bring him down. The fight is open. Translate that into a victory here, because you're not going to get too many more chances in this game.
This Undying is also an issue because they can't focus him down. Now he's got an aghanim scepter. He's decaying like every 2 seconds. Got his high ground area. Not a place I think he wants to be anymore. They're going to deal with the tombstone pretty quickly. So they've got a dire side tombstone out and a tombstone on DM where they can't do it. DM's getting big aghanim scepters in. They've already taken care of the heroes. They still not dead. Inside there goes that ogre. Satanic with the false promise onto DM. He's back up to full HP. Extreme just lose 3 and get nothing for it. Even if they killed the Undying, there's still that ceaseless dirge. Oh no, he used it earlier. Never mind.
He took so much. Jin Q took so much damage off the Pyrrhic Cloak from the Undying. I was wondering what was bursting him there. Was there some weird interaction with that? Exacerbated the damage. He took 1,500 physical from Pyrrhic Cloak in 2 seconds.
Yeah, that sounds right. They were throwing everything they had at him.
Yeah, I guess so.
He's got like 8,000 HP.
I guess that adds up. Yeah, that's a lot of work. And here's gonna be your fight. There's the Mega.
Uncontested.
Have an awkward way to try and take that fight with Kunkka just going up the hill, getting hit. Then you're like, all right, this is the fight. We're gonna go for it now. I mean, the high ground tombstone spots are honestly working better for XG than they're working for P-Vision, because Ame just goes in, plants his own, has the vision, kills theirs. You have a tombstone, they don't. It puts zombies on the Meepo. It's not a bad idea, to be honest.
Yeah.
You just don't have the sustain.
I hate
Playing to Megas here, look at the
Breaks
Roshan.
Ame on the low ground, he backs away.
P-Vision don't have to do anything here. They're just gonna sit high ground and watch the creeps assault XG's base.
XM isn't really going to be enough to deal with 3 different waves pushing in. Streamer just gonna have to show more heroes eventually.
Also, honestly, scary for him to do this. If you're P-Vision, it's pretty tempting to just send Meepos up here, or Meepo plus the Storm, jump to the Sniper.
I like this idea, Ame trying to force things by going to the Roshan pit, but it's pretty easily dissuaded as DM's like, okay, I'm just gonna start stacking up decays if you want to do that.
You gotta take some crazy risk at this point.
Yeah, I don't know how they start this, but P-Vision is actually the one to smoke. They go for the sniper?
I would go Sniper here.
Yeah, they're gonna go to the sniper.
Like, who cares about Roche right now? I don't think it does anything for XG anyway. If the Sniper, you're gonna force TPs out of Extreme, you're gonna put them in a really awkward position. He does have buyback on the Sniper, that's kind of the one downside of his play, but you're gonna get
Distance, yeah, for XM, fast TP's back as their tier 4s. Dropping fast, they're gonna jump on the TP here. That's actually a great start for Extreme. The lasso back on the ring. Okay. Supports are dead. Somehow it ends up being P-Vision, who are out of position. They committed and got an X onto a Meepo here. The Mega Meepo. Do they go to the Tiger? Do they go to the Meepo? That's crazy. His dieback potentially is easy. The Soldier is all looking for. Shivas goes out and chases after him and XM. DM gets the dieback from the Sniper and then it does all make here in the team fight. He clearly cannot against all the heroes of P-Vision. They will finally close out this game. 3 minutes.